Hello. How is everyone today? Oh. Okay. Stream does not seem to be very happy. Let me check some things. I was is it the stream or is it the capture that seems to be freezing for some reason? Who knows? But it's always fun. Hey Kieran, welcome to the stream. Hello everyone. The stream seems to be breaking this morning. I thought, oh, I'll just update some of my scripts that set things up, and that broke OBS, and now the overlay is doing weird stuff. I'm just moving the mouse over it. Yes, it is the overlay that is broken. Let us restart the overlay. Quit a launch. And hopefully that works. We're getting some weird stuttering there. So, how is everyone? Hope you are all doing well on this Sunday that started off kind of rainy, but it's actually become quite nice and sunny outside. Yeah, birds don't do very well in space. They seem to like gunk up all of the engines and stuff like that. So birds tend to start nesting everywhere on ships. Well, I'm sure the spaceship will be fine. It will be fine. I have realised I didn't rebuild Unity from yesterday. Well, rebuild the overlay with my slight change. Yeah, well, it's only a minor thing. But we will end up probably doing a little bit later. I want to just tweak some face. I want to get this face stuff working by the end of Monday if possible. And get like the pixelated version of the faces in. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, how was the end of your stream? I had to like dip out in the middle and then dip out at the end to get ready for this. But yeah, how was the end of your stream? You like to make homes in the weirdest places? Yeah, well actually, a few houses down from me, there's a vent that comes out from like the extractor fan in the kitchen. And apparently some blackbirds have taken up residence in there and are nesting in there because the cover fell off it and it was just a nice safe hole high up and far away from the cats. So I keep seeing blackbirds all about because they seem to be flying there. I think I've also seen, I don't know if they're starlings or something, seem to be nesting in a roof of a house just around the corner as well. So plenty of birds all over the place. Anyway. Let us get on to doing some work and stuff and see whether I've set this up correctly. No. Yeah, I basically had to... Oh, is it because... oh, was that why it was freezing? Because I was capturing it twice. Let's remove that. And I thought I had added... No, I've not added... Listen. Chroma key. Magenta. And that. Oh. About there. And then. Okay, property. That is... Oh, do it. I don't know why OBS has started... It's been fine, and then the past few weeks, it's not even like I've updated anything. It has just started going really all over the place. Right, let's add main display capture. Okay, and I want to do that, and I want to scale it down, and this is going down here, that I am moving. There we go. And then we go here, and scale this so that that fits there. Good. And then I can zoom in. And voila. Aye. Right. Yeah, it was a... I had a double head because I had removed the display capture for the overlay because the overlay had broken, but I added the display capture again and I thought, oh, I'm adding one, and I'll select an existing one, not realizing the existing one was actually my main display. So the display capture I added and then changed the layout and everything of ended up being my overlay. So I had the overlay shown behind the overlay. So yeah, I don't know why it does that sometimes. Like I said, it's been fine most of the time, and then it's just things have gone a bit odd. Right, now I forgot that. Right, that should all be fine. Oh. Oh dear. Why is my Stream Deck messed up now? Yes. Okay, let's restart the Stream Deck. Everything is breaking today. Okay, did that work? Now that works. Okay. It's one of those days. On the plus side, I should have all of my automations working because I've now split stuff up, because getting shortcuts to go through a lot of automations at once is a pain and doesn't really work because it keeps crashing midway through doing various automations for no reason apparently. But if you split it up and call each one individually from the Stream Deck, then it can work. So right, so where were we yesterday? I believe we had just got what have we just got? Just got M3 data working, we just got Coppice core compiling, but that is just Coppice core compiling. Did the tests compile? So these will probably fail. Yeah. Page test, canvas test. Right, so we've got a lot of tests to update. Now, thankfully, we should be able to do stuff like that. And then we should be able to do dot canvas page dot frame. some scripts. At some point I will fix that. It is on my to-do list to fix. So, how has everyone's Sunday been going? Did you get the rendering stuff at Done Sinister that you were working on yesterday? Okay. That's good to hear. Well tired. Yeah, that seems to be going around. I woke up at 6 this morning. And then lay in bed for an hour. And then woke up to watch a chaotic stream. Because streams that have some degree of chaotic energy do actually wake me up reasonably well. Leftover chores to do. Well, hopefully you managed to get through them all. I've done some chores. I've got a rather busy day today because I've been shopping, spent some time with my niece, came back here and had something to eat, and then I need to at some point iron some clothes and back up and just do tidying and stuff like that. Now the ironing I would normally do when I watch the Formula 1. The problem is the Formula 1 is on while I'm streaming, and then when I finish streaming I'm then having to go to my parents because I'm having food there, and then watching the Euro finals, and then I've got to come back here to immediately play D&D, and then it will probably be 10 o'clock. So, and I've just no energy at the moment, so I ended up just vacuuming upstairs, and I'll do the rest tomorrow. I mean, I've got nowhere to go tomorrow morning, so it will be a much better place to get all that stuff done. Well, I may end up yawning a lot again, so... If I was to go there, let's like that, and paste, hey, that works. Is there. Paste. So yeah, my weekends get a lot more busy now I'm streaming on them, but it helps me regiment them more, because Saturday I'll wake up, pop out to get some, like, some stuff for my dinner to eat, and do some stuff around the house. Sunday I do my main shop of the week, and then I can again do a few more bits around the house, and then Monday I just do stuff around the house. So I split it up over 3 days, lots smaller jobs, and it seems to work fairly well for me. It just means it feels like I don't have a full day of rest, but then every 2 weeks I have the Friday off, where I previously was streaming, but now I get to do that to do things around the house. And that lets me do the more complex stuff. Like for the next Friday I have off, I've got someone coming around to do a boiler service, and I'm probably going to order in, because on Friday I was cleaning out the garage, because the garage was basically full of cardboard boxes, paint cans, and all my tools and stuff, and then piles of like scrap bits of wood and everything. So I've tidied up most of it except for the tools. What I want to do is properly organise the tools, and rather than have a toolbox that's kind of broken and stuff is all over the place, I'm going to order some proper stuff to go on the wall. So I'm going to order up a pegboard, so I can stick a pegboard on the wall and actually hang all my tools on the wall, so it's easy to find them. And then get one of those things where you can hook like plastic things on, so for all the screws and other bits and pieces, like all the small bits that I have, that again I have to search through the pegboard to find, search through the toolbox to find, they'll just be on the wall where I can just look through them, and it keeps them off the floor and in a place where it's easy to find them. I don't have to start digging through a toolbox that has like random nails and screws and saw blades and stuff in it, so... Oh. I used to do everything in one day, can't do that anymore. Much I'm happy I've taken the staggered approach. The staggered approach is much better because you do some stuff and then you start getting tired and then you realise, oh, I've got so much more stuff to do, but I'm tired and do I want to do that? And you never get through it all and it just doesn't work. Whereas if you have a few jobs, like during the day, like spread over several days, you get to a point where you're tired, but then you have the afternoon where you can do anything else, or however you spread out your time. And it just feels a lot better and feels more like you're doing progress. So I'm still getting used to it, but it definitely feels a lot better than it did. Right. So that should all build. Then we get to the canvas test, of which there are many. For comparison of test versus code, when it comes to the model classes where I get particularly picky, 213 lines of code in the canvas class, or in the file. 1458 in the test for that same class. So feels like you could do satisfaction of having done a couple of small things instead of the girls just skipping a lot of big jobs. Yeah, and that's it. The other thing is that because I live by myself at the moment, so I have to do all this stuff by myself. I don't get a hand with it, and it's one of those things of, well, I need to do these things, but then when I do them, I'm that tired that I don't want to do some of the big jobs that need doing. And some of them are fairly simple jobs, but they're going to take a bit of time to do. For example, one of them is I have a filing cabinet full of paper, and some of that paper I don't need anymore. So it would be nice to shred some of that paper and get rid of it. But that requires sitting down and going through the entire filing cabinet and working out what exactly do I need and what don't I need. So it's just one of those things that you need a day for. Select. Sure. Yep, very true. The time just goes so quickly. And the thing is, I generally have more physical energy to do all the cleaning stuff in the morning. And my brain isn't awake by that point, so... It's just a lot of my energy this morning was taken away by the fact that I was throwing my niece up in the air and running around after her, so... This is going to be one hell of a large edit. Be interested to see how Xcode handles this, because I must have at least 50 lines that I'm going to be editing simultaneously. Okay. Oop. Is Xcode going to like that? Okay. Like this. Canvas. Up. Again. That should... That eliminates all those. Then what I can do is ID. What I can do, copy this. Paste that. That D, and that is going to be model plist key. I just want to select these last few test things. Okay, so that reduces further. This is going to be plist key.count all. Get rid of the raw value. And that should be canvas done. Slowly getting there. Now we need to do the same thing again here. Title. So my aim for today is to get Coppice. Oh, actually, I can. That can't I? Okay. So my aim for today is to get Coppice, Coppice core, the framework, all the tests, compiling and passing, and correctly reading and writing at least the version 2 data. And if we can get that working, ensure that the current version of Coppice can work with the new version of M3 data, then we are in a very good spot. Because all we then need to do is add the version 3 plist and the migration and all the tests for that, which we can hopefully get started today, but if not, we will do tomorrow. Because when we're at that point, all of our back-end stuff should be all done, because we will be able to read and write new data types, which means that we will be able to open old files, convert everything over to links, and then not have to deal with any sorts of errors there. It does mean that I will have to be careful what documents I open, because there's no going back. But yeah. But yeah, that will mean, hopefully, that we can actually do some of the really fun stuff of implementing new features rather than just factoring stuff. Not me, plist, it's model. Well, this is how it is sometimes. Sometimes you have to do a lot of prep work before you can do all of the new features. And the good news is, this is prep work that will stand us in good stead for everything going forward. It's very unlikely that we won't need to use this again. That's very true, Kieran. You have to have the good foundations, and your data layer is one of the most important parts of those foundations. It's one of the bits that is the trickiest to get. Like, seems like it should be the simplest, but it is often the trickiest to get right because it is the most important that you don't get wrong. If a button doesn't work, okay, a button doesn't work, you release a fix. If your data model doesn't work, well, great, you've now lost a bunch of user data. And you're hoping that they have proper backups. Dot page dot that. Right. Still an awful lot. Ah, yes. There's an. Yes. Good. Fix a lot of. I just realised I haven't actually tweeted that I've gone live. I should probably do that. Right. Right. So we'll get all those, get that. Yeah, this. Dot page content. Okay, so that page is doing. Plist key. That. Just delete that. Okay, so we have 16 left. Model reader test. Referencing operator equals an error protocol requires that models error reader conforms error code protocol. Okay. So what we need to do in Coppice core is take this model reader and remove it from Coppice core. And then if I do a build, that's probably going to cause some issues here. In model plist. And let's do a clean build so that we just have to deal with the errors from here. Okay, so it's just the errors. Yeah. List. I mean, we're going to remove this, or at least replace it with a bit better. But that should be fine. And then missing ID. Collection. We have an invalid collection. Where do we actually have? So we throw it there. That's out for now. Because, as I say, we're going to get rid of that. So we just want a bit. Oh. Yes. N3 data. Got model P. Errors inaccessible due to internal protection level. Click errors. So succeeded. Test. 73 errors. Fantastic. Right, so I need to read through this and work out exactly how it works. So we get our P-list canvases. So in terms of the actual P-list stuff, I think we're fine. We want to keep all this the same. We are going to tweak it slightly because this is eventually going to be testing the... Actually, yeah, it does. Ah. Yeah, we don't need to test model reader anymore. I'll do, you know, we need model reader. I go to model P-list. So for a particular version, we're gonna this is all stuff that we tested in entry data. We set the P-list representation. So far, so generic. Version settings. So we need to define the persistence types. So we will need to test that basically test the persistence types, but that can be done as part of this. So it becomes less of a unit test and more of an integration test because we're testing both the reader and the P-list. And the reason we're doing both is that we're testing that the reader is correctly The peeler should be reading all this stuff incorrectly, and then model reader. Wrong model reader. Yeah, we know this works generically, but it's good to have another set of tests that say, does this work on our specific data model? How does it? Because what? Need to test that the peerless reads incorrectly, which it should do, because it's mostly generic stuff. And when we have a plist, it's a fairly standard thing of reading that plist in. And at this point we're just testing model plist again. So... I end up having to rewrite a lot of this. Oh, actually, so we need that because that's going to get... that's going to get the plist. The thing I'm thinking is we need to have tests for plist version 2.1 and tests for version 3.1 and tests for the migration to version 3. But that just gives us the plist. We also need to test that we are using the model reader correctly to load stuff in. Alright, what errors do we have? What tests do we have? So we're testing that it creates all canvases from the plist. Pages from the plist, canvas pages, folders. Don't create new one if one already exists. Removes all extras. All relationships completed. All content is read from this. Then throw errors if. Then we would have invalid plist. Version not supported. That would be the missing collections come from the plist side of things. Don't have tests that actually updates them. All content is now again not testing. Curious. Right. bit indecisive about what to do here, in case you may not have noticed with my past 5 minutes of indecision. So what I may do is move this code here into a helper class, and then it'll have something that tests that we are correctly reading stuff into the plist, and then I will have stuff that correctly tests just we're creating the objects we need to and stuff like this. So most of this will stay the same that we're reading in the file objects. It's mostly the errors that will go away because a lot of those have either changed or they are now in yeah, they're now in the whatchamacallits plist, and then I can have this be a version okay, we're going to return the plist, but then this I can always have this use the latest version of the plist. So the plist that this should use should be the same as others, because if I have different versions of this, then I can test like the overall migration. So this is a bit less of a unit test, it's more of a like an integration test of everything, but we can unit test the specific plist implementation. So I'm just going to step away for a few minutes because I just need to have a quick ponder away from the computer, which usually just requires me staring out a window for a few minutes, and then when we get back we'll probably start implementing it. So see you all in a few. Okay, I am back, and in the grand tradition of today, it seems that the Be Right Back screen has broken. Well, throwing bugs seems to work. The Twitch integration is at least doing what it's meant to. Where did that bug go? Right, find it. There it is. Oh, that one went through the door. So yeah, at least the Twitch integration is work. What is that? Why is that? Why is everything broken? Why is my overlay so buggy today? And I don't mean those little things. Look at this. Right here. That shouldn't be doing that. Down here. Can you see how my tasks list is extending out when it shouldn't do? Yeah. Why is that? Sidebar. Tasks. Properties. Cancel. Transform. Edit transform. Oh! Because that has resized. I have no idea why that has resized. Okay, well at least that one is figured out. Right. Though, to be fair, I haven't really been paying attention to the test list because all of that is done. So, test list. Update. Coppice. Core. Yes. Add V2. Plist. Add V3. Plist and migration. And test. So I think what I may do is I may make this a bit of a shorter stream. Because I'm that busy, I just need an extra hour to get stuff done around. So what we will focus on doing, getting these plists pulled out into its own thing that we can lock down as a version. My version 3. What's the current document type? Yeah. Ah? Oh, I didn't say that. I wanted... Mail control, no. Oh, because it's not in the thing. Model reader. Document, model reader. Document version. Global constants document version. Yeah, it's version 2. Well, yeah, we'll go until about 3, so another 45-50 minutes or so. Just so I can have that extra hour to actually get some rest in today. What am I doing? I can get rid of that. Need to paste. Going to be enum. Well, can define new file. Test plist. And here we're just going to do an enum test plist, which you're going to define our namespace, and then extension test plist. We can add a class v2. And what we want to do is take all of this, copy, lazy var canvas ID equal, oh no, canvas IDs equals ID UID. And then lazy var here's canvases is going to be a string of any
synthesis complete.
Uh, this is what you call a upbeat song. Ah, what the hell happened there? Oh, go back to there. Right, so I can delete all of this. Let plist equals test plist.v2. All your chores are done. And starting on Solaris, that is the life. Right, so in here, I need a group. This file is going to be plist v2. And we'll have class plist v2. If I import data, is going to be plist. And what do we need? That version. And 2. Supported types. Turn an empty array for now. Migrate to next version. Then empty string. What we'll also do is a plist v3 just so it's there, and we'll copy all of this, paste 3 and the 3. Actually, in plist, and what we can do, this will be v2, and we'll do a similar thing that we've done in the test. Thank you for following, JPM. How are you doing today? Hope you're enjoying the stream. Right, because if we do that, then we can do var all plist, which is going to be plist, be an array all plist, and we can return plist dot type. Doing good. Never quite join the live streams as you're in Texas and the times don't match up. Oh well, at least you managed to catch us today. Definitely early in Texas when I'm streaming. It'll be what, when I start at 1 PM. That would be what, like 7 AM in Texas, I think. But I do have the Wednesday streams when I stream at 6 PM UK time, so that's around noon in Texas, I believe. So yeah, good you could join us today. We're just currently working on updating how we store data. Right, so we have the v2 here. Left. Right, so if I go to the test there, and I want to pass plist, which is going to be a Coppice core.plist. I need to make those public, don't I? No, I don't. Make it at testable. $8.28. Well, yeah. As Kieran says, good morning, and hopefully, I'm worth being up at that early for. Let's see. So we have our P list in there. I also try if I repeat it. Empty. So probably. So all the errors that are failing at the moment. Let's just go down here and disable the errors, because they're the ones causing compiler errors. So if we disable those, then we can test that these work, and test that the good cases work, which they probably won't, considering we haven't implemented the plist. But a bunch of failing tests is a lot better than tests that don't work at all. There we go. So that is a huge amount of failures, which is good because we don't need the copy score. Alright. So want to go back here, want to go to our V2 over here, and great point, I want to drag that along. So all we should need to do to get all this working, because we've built all of this in M3 data, is to add our persistence types. So the persistence types are what maps model types to what is stored in the data store. So we can do page dot model type. I'm going to go to pages, and we should have folder goes to folders, canvas goes to canvases, canvas pages should be for a canvas page. So in theory, this should work. Yes, it does help if I make sure that we have all those. Okay, succeeded. Running the tests. Okay, 43 is lower than 72. A lot of these are passing, but some of them are not. Yes. Another page. So the relationships are not set up. Content is not read from there. Okay, let's see what happens here. What does titles contain? New canvas and new canvas. Okay, so we have the canvases, it's just not naming them. So if we go here, go into read, I want to get to here. I'm going to step through and take a look at what we get. So the version is 2. Let's increase. So the version is 2. The plist types, we have one type. And when we load the plist, I should be able to do plist, plist representations of model type, and I can do model type raw value canvas, and we can have a look here. We get all stuff like this. Title canvas 2, title canvas 1. Okay, so we're going to go here, and what are our collections? So canvas. So we're going to create and delete. I'm going to get here. We're in canvas. So if I go into update objects, let's have a look here. Our plist representation. If your item is a canvas, item dot title, or item as Coppice core dot canvas. Can't find it. I will just step in. Okay, self.title. It's new canvas. Yo, plist. IDs don't match. Okay. Oh. That is why it's not working. Because the ID is no longer a string. If I go to folder, canvas page, because in the plist we're now converting them to model IDs, that means that it's no longer string. So it fails because this ends up being nil when it's string representation, because string representation is correct, but because this is a string, it means that it tries to cast this to a string and fails. And page. So if I do that and then I run and disable all breakpoints. Ew. That made things worse. Okay. How? Model reader now. Oh, because now the page should be Oh, that should be a canvas one. And then all of these change. A canvas page, the ID. And am I getting spell error? As model ID. All of these tests should now pass, hopefully. That does not, because we get the P list representation, because we're still setting that there. Model writer. M3 data. So it does need to be... Let's leave it as a string for now. Just for now. But I'm going to add a to-do. Make model writer take ID. Actual ID. Because it could be quite good if in future we could have, rather than needing to do this, we just do the IDs for relationships as well. Because that should be perfectly possible to do. We'll make code like this easier, because we're already doing it for files where we're converting the plist version of a file into a model file, which is how I represent file data. So we could always do, rather than the file ones, you could say I mean, we could either make the property, because at the moment it is, because I do that as represented there, so that should cause that to pass. But if I was to go to page test, page, we have model file properties here. So what we could have is, rather than model file properties, we could have like a property conversions or something like that, where you can return a list of properties and say these properties need to run through this conversion. So page.content needs to run through the model file conversion, but some of them may need to run through the model ID conversion. ID will always convert, but the others won't. So yeah, we may play around with that tomorrow. Let's get this up and running on now. So we're going to do page id.string representation. I'm going to replace just page.d. And we're going to go up here and add the string representation back here. This should hopefully build, and then all of these should now pass. Which they do. Hello Radiant Blue Wolf, how are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are having a good Sunday. I'm not too bad. A little tired, a little busy weekend, so just trying to get my unit tests working again, which is, as I'm sure you can all attest, the most riveting and wonderful thing to watch on Twitch. This is peak streaming content, going through and fixing compiler errors in unit tests. It keeps everyone on the edge of their seats wondering what will happen next. Will he get those compiler errors fixed? Will he be able to type correctly as he does a find and replace on the files? Will he remember that some tests may need to be working a slightly different way? Right, which I believe folder test. I believe this is the last one that we're doing. Folder.id.string patient. So if I replace all these, do that, wait for a compiler to show up at some point there, and then we'll build and run. And we get compiler error. That be string. Number's going down. Number up here is going down. We're down to 10 test failures. One of which is the Coppice model controller, which we do expect to fail at this point because, if I can update that now, because even though at the moment we are not really using Canvas Link is in there, so we can fix that. And then model writer fails, which we don't care about at this moment because we're focusing on model reader. So if I do model reader test, all of these ones pass. And what that means is that all the tests we were using to make sure that you can read in model data work with our new system. So now let's try and get these error ones working again, because these are the ones that make sure that we are actually picking up when there's something going wrong, because when reading something in and something goes wrong, we want to fail and just tell the user no, we can't open this, because we don't want to accidentally make things worse potentially. So for this, we're going to do plist wrapper file. Don't throw an error if the file wrapper is empty. It should never get to that point, because if the file wrapper is empty, we will now handle that higher up. Because previously, what we had is you would pass in your file wrapper, which represents something on this, like a folder or a file. It's basically, it represents a hierarchy on your file system. So here, this is a file wrapper, which is a directory with two other file wrappers. One, whose file name is data.plist, and that's a regular file with some data. And the other is content, but that is a folder or a directory with some sub-file wrappers. So this throws corrupt data if data plist exists but is empty. This we are going to do. Now, what I have done differently is rather than passing in like the overall file wrapper, I'm passing them in separately. And the reason for that is that I'm using this new model reader not only here but in my other app Streamline, and that does not use this content thing. So we can just ignore it. So what we can do here is we're just going to copy paste these in. The other thing is that it names its plist differently, so it just gives a lot of flexibility having two separate file wrappers for this. And we'll wrap our file wrappers, and we'll change that to invalid plist. Okay, so that compiled. And valid plist, we are going to copy paste that down to there and get rid of that. And then version 2 new. So we're going to set this. It'll be the model reader for version 1, but we're passing in well, actually, then file private class v1 plist is going to be equal to link. Yeah, you want the version that you're reading in to always be newer than it. Yeah, so so that is going to be a type of model plist, and we're going to override data model plist version then 1 lots of types, and we'll just return an empty there. And this is a model controller plist, and we're going to do v1 plist.self, return that in, so that should do version not supported. Then we've got all these missing collection ones, which we're going to swap over when we have our separate thing for the actual plist. Because this is always going to test the latest version reading in, whereas what we want to do is have all this stuff test the actual plist. So we've got missing collection, missing IDs. I don't think we're throwing anymore. A little bit of update error if canvas update fail. I think these one, the throw model update error, we do want, because they're, again, this set of tests is more of an integration test. So this is testing, and this is going through and throwing an error here. But what we need to do is list wrapper. Data. Then we should just be able to copy paste that one line. And then we will see if we will be able to get this actually running all these tests just fine. And if it does, that should mean that for the most part, everything is working. No, we won't. Alright. So, test, build, fail. Property does not override any property from its superclass. What? Yes, it does. Oh, that is why. It would help if you didn't show that one and you showed just the second one, and then we could learn. Invalid version. Aha. Found one, expected two. So we need to do version 2. Oh. Version fearless dot version or actually no, it's a unit test. If I do that, why does that fail? Cannot convert type int to expected dictionary type string and this member or peers can't be used on type field. Ah, that needs to be static bar. Okay, so we just make that to any because this is all written before I actually added versioning. And now I'm actually checking version correctly. Hopefully. And that we're 10 failures, or is it 9? Still failing. Why are we failing? Version not supported because that's version 2, and then we'll comment them out because we are going to change this, because this is just temporarily making sure that things work. Version. And else is failing. We're not thrown. Sorry, check the collection dot on canvas pages, so we can put that page folder, canvas link, canvas. Right, so then we can go into update objects. And we want to go into here. And then copy this. Okay. Onto there. Okay, so we're throwing. Definitely throwing. That throws. 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 That should go. Oh, that catches. Other conversions for any function type. Something throws. To void throws. To that. Okay. That's looking promising. Okay, so what we want to just do to any model flash. Oh yeah, there's only... Okay, so the only test we have failed should be in model writer, so model reader works. So what we want to do tomorrow, we've got a version 2 plist, so we're going to add v2 plist test, add version 3 plist and test, add v2 to v3 migration test. So we got that done. We want to do all the rest, so we'll get all that done tomorrow. So I'm finishing a bit early, as I say. I want to have a little bit of just an hour to myself because I'm going to be busy pretty much the rest of the day. So yes, we are actually going to raid, I believe I just saw her come online. Yes, we're going to raid Kurzek, who is an art and gaming streamer, and they are going to be streaming Outer Wilds, which if you don't want any spoilers for Outer Wilds, I suggest hopping off, but otherwise it will be great to head over there and see what she's up to. I think she's just getting started. Yeah, so hopefully she'll be around not long after, but I want to thank you all for coming. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend, and hopefully you'll be able to pop around again tomorrow. Thank you for everyone who followed, Kieran who raided, and yeah, as always, if this decides to work, come on. Oh, as always, and thank you for the follow, Radiant Blue Wolf. It is much appreciated. But yeah, as always, happy coding.